Yeah, I think that second half they amped up their physicality a little bit. The number of turnovers we had, 16 for 23 points, really hurt us. When we scored enough, 123 points, we shot relatively well. I think 13 threes, so we had enough offense. And just our inability to contain, small ball. Bothered us a little bit. Obviously KP was doing a lot for us on offense, but puts him in a lot of pick and rolls, which is difficult. But just the one-on-one containment and the transition.
Do you have an update on Kyle?
No, not yet.
Went away from Gav late yesterday, also today. I guess just what's the thought process there?
Well, they were small, so having one big out there was problematic. The amount of shooting that they put on the floor and their ability to play off the bounce. Maybe a little leery to put two bigs on the floor at that point because we just get stretched. Now you're in rotations quite a bit. But it's just more the matchups than it was anything.
What did you make of that goaltending call?
I didn't see it on film, but they reviewed it, so it's a tough one.
Speaking of Gav, they had a really big rebound late. This one didn't look the same quite as last night. How do you kind of put it into context of this just happening 2 days in a row? When you tell
Well, it stinks. Obviously, it's you feel like we let one go, and it's tough. KP fouls out with about 3 minutes left. You lose Kuz in the second half, but like I said, we still had enough offense. Trying to get stops. That was the biggest piece. We weren't unable to get stops.
How do you describe the locker room after back-to-back nights like this?
Frustrated. There's no way to sugarcoat that. That sucks. You have a decent lead in the first half, and you just can't sustain it.
I think yesterday you pointed to that, Portland needed more effort than you guys did. Similar story tonight.
No, I think our effort was pretty good. The physicality was different, but we're down a few bodies, and it's tough on the second night of a back-to-back, but we got to find a way to come away with it.
Yeah, we played on our heels. We're stagnant on offense, and we let their best players on the floor get going, and frankly didn't have an answer for any of their stuff tonight. I thought we played flat-footed, and when you do like that, when you play like that, it doesn't matter who's on the floor for the other team. Everybody's a pro, and they're going to take advantage of it.
Obviously the same kind of thing 2 nights in a row. What are some of the consistencies in those 2 games that you can kind of say, like, okay, this is the thing that needs to be fixed to prevent this from happening again?
I think we just can't get bored with what works. Success is boring sometimes, and the way we played in the first half of both games is a testament to how we can play. And if we stick with it in the second half of both games, I think we'd be 2-0. But kind of went away from what worked, and we got the results we got.
It's difficult to look at a silver lining necessarily after a loss like this, but another really, really strong game from Denny over the last few. What have you seen from him in recent weeks that has been impressive?
Yeah, no, Denny's he's cutting the fat in his game. He's sticking to his strengths, and he's playing downhill. And when he plays downhill and plays strong, he's a problem to guard. So I'm really happy with that. He's hitting timely threes. He hit a big one late for us tonight. It's great to see him gaining that confidence and playing well.
Looking forward, 3 consecutive home games against East opponents. How do you guys kind of look at that as an opportunity to recalibrate after a couple tough ones?
Yeah, this is kind of the point of the season where there's a fork in the road and teams go one way or the other. So we got games at home against 3 good teams, teams that are either playoff or fringe teams, and it'd be huge for us to pick up, go 2-1 or 3-0.
Well, what can I say? It's very similar games, right? That team played together, they stayed together throughout everything. And again, not that we didn't give our all, not that we didn't play hard, just some stupid mistakes maybe. And again, it slipped out of our hands. Fun game for the fans for sure, but again, tough one for us. And what can I say? It's not fun to be on this side of the result, but we have to learn. We have to learn, watch film, and clean up those stupid mistakes, and I think we'll be fine.
I know you're obviously carrying the offensive load with 38 points, but what did you see with your guys' defense on Cam Thomas tonight? What was he doing to get kind of free?
I think he's a little bit like crazy player. Like, he can get going like that. He has that like almost delusional confidence, and it works for him, you know. Not that he doesn't have skills. He has skills, but I think that was a career night for him, and it's tough. It will be tough for me to see him doing that against us, you know. But hats off to him, and he helped them big time to get the win.
Was tough for you just not being able to finish the game with Allen Mounds?
Yes, a very emotional game. I think refs are actually pretty solid. Emotional game, and just towards the end of the game, smart from their head coach. They were kind of putting me in all the actions and making me guard, and those guards coming downhill and trying to draw fouls, and one of those I was there, and Sumner did a pretty good job. He's quick and kind of ran into my legs almost, and that was it. Game over for me. But I feel like we still, with Brad, Kuz, and myself out, we were still right there, and we could have won the game. So, just of course, I would like to stay in the game and finish it out.
Less than a week ago, this locker room was so happy in San Antonio after the great win on the street and everything. How do you kind of make sense just of that really drastic swing in like 5 days?
Yes, no, it's the NBA. It's ups and downs, and one night you feel like you're invincible, and the next night you lose to some teams that you should have beat. It's just the nature of our season, and I think this saying works for everything, that you're never too high, never too low. You know, we have to keep that mindset. We can look at those first two halves of these both games and take so much good away from that, and how much fun we're having, and even the second half tonight too. We did some really good things. Just have to clean up those stupid mistakes, and we'll get there. Sooner or later, we'll get there.
Anyone can say that you guys should make adjustments and do things, but how hard is it to do live during the second half of the game to actually execute adjustments?
How hard is it to
Live in a game instead of, okay, you have a day off and can fix it for the next game.
Yeah. Of course, it's hard. It's a hard job for the coaching staff, you know, and they're constantly giving us different answers, and it works. You know, they've done their part, and it works. So sometimes, it's everything happens so fast. Everything happens so fast, and you have to make split-second decisions, and the same way it is for us as the players on the floor, the same it is for coaches, same for refs, and so nobody's perfect, but we're all trying to do the best we can, and just through everything, through the ups and downs, most important is that we stay together.